here's your wrestling news for June 24th, 2021. And your headlines for today include Sasha Banks' return date and next opponent in WWE revealed. Alexa Bliss fires back at critics of her new creepy gimmick on WWE Raw. Talkin' ShopAMania 3 will never happen. Reason for the cancellation revealed. WWE wrestler passes away at 50. Triple H photo with Parker Boudreaux draws big attention. Braun Strowman takes a cheeky dig at WWE. Keith Lee faces unexpected challenge from WWE. Major plans drawn for Big E next 2 opponents are leaked. Tony Khan says AEW Double or Nothing was a much better show than WWE WrestleMania, and more. We are starting today with Sasha Banks, who hasn't competed since WrestleMania 37, where she lost the SmackDown Women's Championship to Bianca Belair. Competing in the Night 1 main event, Banks hasn't been seen since, but we now know what the plan is for the boss. It's already been confirmed that Banks will return on the July 16th SmackDown, the first in front of live fans, and fans will see a different side to her. According to reports, Banks will be returning as a face, appreciative of the fans' support over the last year, but her happiness won't last long as she'll be blindsided by Alexa Bliss. This will mark the start of a feud between the two that will include a SummerSlam match, with reports suggesting that Bliss is a big name expected to be moved to the blue brand permanently in the upcoming draft, which will help Fox bring in some better ratings. This feud will also be a part of Stephanie McMahon's promised surprises for SummerSlam, as the company plans on this year's show being as big as WrestleMania. Though Bliss and Banks have feuded before, the boss has never dealt with this darker side of the goddess of WWE, and fans won't have to wait long to see these two collide in front of live fans. Bliss has certainly been a focal point of the Red brand for close to a year now, playing a demonic character with various supernatural powers. A play on Bray Wyatt's The Fiend, Bliss was instrumental in Wyatt's loss to Randy Orton at WrestleMania 37, but not everyone is a fan of the character. Over the past year, criticisms of the character have ranged from Bliss being too different to her pre-Wyatt character, to her current character being too goofy to work. And on Twitter, the former women's champion fired back, saying, "They can say what they want, but I'm actually having fun." On this week's Raw, Bliss teamed with Nikki Cross to earn 2 spots in the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And given that she's received a new theme and graphic this week, WWE clearly has plans for the gimmick, despite what some fans may say. Over to Impact now, as Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows have certainly made an impact in the company, but have their own projects in the ring. In August 2020, the pair hosted their Talkin' ShopAMania pay-per-view and had a second show that November, but fans won't be seeing a third. Speaking on the Talkin' Shop podcast, Anderson explained why they're not producing Talkin' ShopAMania 3, saying, "Impact took a chance on us in the middle of one of the most insane times in the history of our life. I love Impact forever, and I love AEW's office, their boss, their bosses, their people. I love Impact's bosses and people. In about a year, we're going to find out exactly where the Good Brothers are going to be. How about we do a 12-month countdown to town? One more time, one thing I'm not doing is Talkin' ShopAMania 3. Given how much they've been on AEW programming recently, they may end up signing with Tony Khan down the line, but whether they go with AEW or Impact, don't expect to see them producing their third pay-per-view." We've got some sad news to report now, as Melissa Coates, aka Super Genie, has passed away aged 50. Best known for working alongside Sabu, Coates was also a former WWE developmental talent and only recently turned 50. Her career began when she was inspired by tennis megastar Martina Navratilova and was encouraged to take up weightlifting and enjoyed success in the tennis world and bodybuilding. Trained in wrestling by Killer Kowalski and the Ultimate Pro Wrestling Ultimate University, Coates was signed to WWE in 2005, but didn't do much more than a Master Lock challenge on the main roster and left in 2007, having spent almost all her run in OVW. On Twitter, Chris Masters paid his respect to Coates, as did SmackDown's Bayley, who revealed that her first wrestling match was against Melissa. At this time, no cause of death has been confirmed, and we're sending our condolences to her entire family and friends at this sad time. Over to NXT now, as Parker Boudreaux, aka the Brock Lesnar lookalike, is now a part of the Black and Gold brand. On Twitter, Boudreaux posted a pointing photo with Triple H that garnered immediate attention, showing that he has a home in NXT and that the game is a fan of his. In September 2020, Triple H explained why he takes these pointing photos, which is a pose he saves for new stars signing with NXT, saying that it was originally done to get a wrestler's name and face out there and get them more well-known. Boudreaux is getting a lot of attention in WWE's Performance Center and is being considered the kind of athlete Vince McMahon desires. And whilst the self-proclaimed destroyer of gods is yet to debut, people are already expecting big things from the WWE prodigy. One person the game won't be snapping a picture with is Braun Strowman, who was released by WWE earlier this month after 8 years with the company. Away from WWE, Strowman has been keeping busy as he's been sharing photos on his Instagram of his various adventures, and this week took a cheeky dig at WWE. When a fan compiled Strowman's post-WWE pictures together, saying that this is what it looks like when you get out of a toxic relationship, the former Universal Champion decided to share it, saying it was a funny fan edit he came across. The toxic relationship referenced is no doubt referring to Strowman's time in WWE, as all pictures are used from his time after being released. Perhaps one day Strowman will return to WWE, where he's a Triple Crown winner, Money in the Bank winner, and Greatest Royal Rumble winner. But for now, he's enjoying his time away from the ring. Keith Lee news next, as the Raw superstar hasn't been seen on WWE TV since February this year. In tweets, Lee has promised to explain his absence when the time is right, and we may now know why he's been gone for so long. Last December, Lee filed to trademark his name with the US Patent Office, but is facing some serious roadblocks thanks to WWE. This week, Lee's attorney was notified that there are 2 issues with the trademark application, with one being that WWE have also been trying to trademark the former NXT champion's name. Though Lee's application, filed under Entertainment Services, includes screenshots from websites showing that he's been using the name since 2008, the Patent Office argues that these screenshots only show that the name Keith Lee has been used and does not clarify that it is for a professional wrestler. As for WWE, they filed a trademark for Lee's name in August 2019, but were told in December that year that they needed a signed consent form from Keith Lee, which they have failed to obtain. Now, WWE has until September to coax Lee into consenting to the company trademarking his name, and with Lee and WWE struggling to get ownership of the name, time will tell what the future holds for this trademark and the Limitless One's career. SmackDown news now, and after losing the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania 37, Big E was meant to feud with Aleister Black before the Dutchman's release mere weeks into their angle. Since then, Big E has had nothing to do, but now we know what the company are considering for the SmackDown superstar. WrestleVotes reports that one idea is to move Big E back to Raw during the upcoming WWE draft, but without reuniting him with the New Day. Instead, the plan would be for WWE to be a fresh face in the main event scene, something that is sorely needed at this time. Big E will probably be thrown in the deep end on Raw, as the plan is for him to feud with AJ Styles, presumably when Styles and Omos are no longer Raw Tag Team Champions. The plan is for Big E to go over on AJ on multiple occasions, and based on how he fares against the Phenomenal One, will be put into a world title feud after that. It's hard to picture all New Day members on the same brand but not teaming together, and Xavier Woods is set to take a hiatus after receiving a beatdown by Bobby Lashley on this week's Raw. Big E was on quite a roll before losing the IC title to Apollo Crews, and it seems WWE still plans on keeping his singles push going, even if it has to happen on a new brand. And we're ending today with AEW, which hosted their Double or Nothing event last month, a show that Tony Khan was immensely proud of. Speaking on Pardon My Take, Khan made a bold claim about Double or Nothing, saying it was better than Vince McMahon's biggest show of the year. He explained, "Double or Nothing last year and this year, in my opinion, was a better show than WrestleMania. I liked this year's WrestleMania a lot better than last year's. They had some fans this year, and everyone there worked their ass off both years. This year I thought both were good shows. They did a 2-night show and it was a good show. But I thought Double or Nothing this year was outstanding, and it was the best wrestling show of the year so far." Khan added that he believes WrestleMania 37 was far better than WrestleMania 36, which took place with no fans in attendance, but as expected, he believes Double or Nothing 2020 was superior to last year's Showcase of the Immortals. Tony Khan will continue to put over AEW however he can, and whilst he admits that WrestleMania 37, which was received well by fans for the most part, was an excellent show, Khan believes it doesn't hold a candle to AEW Double or Nothing. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.